Good morning. I'm going to demo for you the application of gold leaf that I promised that I would be doing on my seascape. I have found a photo that I think I want to use that I didn't include in your packet because I couldn't find it. I can't seem to make that picture larger, and I can't get it off my computer to print. So there it is. It's just basic shapes, just like we do with everything else. There's tree shapes, there's water shapes, there's sky shapes, and there's a distant island shape. As you can see, I've oranged up my cradled panel, and I've marked off my horizon with some tape. And now I'm going to apply the adhesive. And it says to stir it. And I'm going to use, excuse me, I'm going to use, sorry, I'm going to use a crappy brush. The adhesive washes out, but I'm using a crappy brush in case I forget. So I am using I'm using just a sunset picture that I have. I can't take it off the computer to show you now, but I will eventually. And I'm making my pattern for a sunset on the water. And I don't have to be careful or stay within the lines or anything because we're going to be integrating the painting and the gold leaf. So I have to leave this for at least 20 minutes for the adhesive to set up and become tacky. Okay, it's kind of sticky, tacky. That is what it's supposed to be. And I'm going to start applying this. You can see how light it is. It's going to tear. I don't want it to be exact anyway. So I'm just going to start pushing it down and tear away from where the tacky bit isn't. I will have lots of wrinkles, but I won't have air bubbles. Push it from the middle out so that you don't have air bubbles. But this is just getting the gold leaf down in the places I put the tacky bit. So I've got no bubbles. I'm taking all the crumbs off, the gold crumbs. I can go back and fill in some of these, but I may not have to once I start painting. This is pretty ugly at this point, right? Just a quick word. This is my palette for this picture. I've got some magenta on here, cad red light, alizarin, Naples yellow, yellow ochre, Hansa yellow, and a little bit of the out of the tube lavender and light blue, phthalo, and that's kind of a cobalty blue-green, ultramarine, and black. as you can see, I have blocked in my shapes. This is going to be trees. This is too wet and I haven't really made a full strong sky shape yet. This is too transparent for me to start blocking in my trees yet. And I've just put in a dark background for the water, because remember when we had water earlier this last month, that we had dark and then we could put light on it with dry brush. That's eventually going to happen here. But it's kind of fun. You can see that I've got the shapes in. I'm kind of committed to it. And I'm going to let this set up for a little while and I'll be back later. As you can see, I've done some work on this since I did my last videoing, and the reason is that this is on a cradled wooden panel. Even though I gessoed it, the paint seems to be absorbed very fast, and I didn't think I needed to put, I didn't need to video what I've done. I have put a dark base underpainting here that I'm going to lighten, but I wanted the dark underneath to show the depth of the water, since this is a seascape lesson. So I will continue doing this. I have started to do a little bit of transparent red. Well, it's a cad red to give warmth. A little bit of red in here, and I will lighten some of this water. I will also be spraying the water to let it drip and show the water elements. I'm going to be putting a row of trees back here where I had the tape, and I'm going to be putting some evergreen trees going up into the sky, but I won't do that until the end to know, so that I can know that I had the sky and the water light enough where it needed to be. So I've got the first piece done for the Seascape series, and it took me longer and was more challenging than I thought it would be, but I have done it. I'm going to make the second one a little bit quicker and a little less complicated. I'm going to be using a 12-inch panel that is gessoed with gold gesso. Not many of you probably have that, but I think some of you do. If you don't, I'm going to be suggesting that you use some just cheap gold paint, gold acrylic paint, to cover your canvas or your paper so that the gold can show glints through the seascape if you're doing one of those kind of sunsetty ones. Other than that, you can just orange up your panel and take one of those references or one of your own to do the second seascape.